Okay, welcome to today's broadcast, or what should I say, live stream. In this one I'm going to be continuing this self-portrait drawing that I was doing and trying to, we're going to try to draw out some more of the shadow shapes. I'm going to try to be a little bit less timid with where we're, or with the dark shapes. Hi and good morning. Hello. Hello and good morning. Yeah. Hungry? Want to make hot dogs? I'm working right now. Can you ask Amanda if she can help you make hot dogs? You sleeping?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure she's sleeping?
Yeah. Daddy, are you doing okay?
Yeah?
How are you doing?
I'm blending it. Do you want a granola bar?
What?
Granola bar to eat while you wait for everybody else to get up?
Too.
Oh yeah?
And mommy not.
Mom's not sleeping. Okay.
Mama, you, no, okay?
Buenos dias, Andrew. Buenos dias. Good morning.
You're shirtless.
Yeah, that's true.
You're shirtless.
Yeah.
That's you. Take your shirt off.
Yeah.
Daddy, I can make cards and myself in the kitchen, and you can take it. And I can get the whole.
No, I don't want you to do it by yourself. Ask Amanda to help you.
Daddy.
You found that on the ground?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's an ear.
Ear. Ear. This is next to my ear. Next to my ear.
Yeah, sure does.
Daddy! The mouse away.
You awake, Jummus? Hey, Jummus. Okay, come on out, cause I'm trying to finish this up, and then I can come help you. Okay?
Okay. Come on. Come on. Found this. Look, Daddy. Here you go, Daddy.
Thank you, Rachel.
Okay.
Okay, come on out. Help James come out. Come on, go with Rachel, Jummus.
Hey, Lewis. Richard, come on. I got you. Dumbass. Stop it. Daddy, Dumbass hurt me.
Come on out, Jummus.
He hurt me.
Yeah, come on out.
He hurt me. He hurt me.
Okay, come on, Rachel. I'm working right now. Gotta come out. One sec. So he's saying if you want, you can darken the right side of the background. It will make the lights pop on the left side of the background lighter. I learned this tip from Stephen Bowman. Oh yeah, I like his stuff. Yeah, I'll have to think about that as I'm designing the background. Right now it's just kind of one gradient. But you make it like darker over here so the lights feel more light. That's a good suggestion. And then leaving this area in the dark side to just kind of blend in. So I'll try to do that once I get to that stage. Do you know how to draw landscapes? I mean, I know some basic stuff about perspective and things like that, but it's not something I've really practiced too much, just because it doesn't interest me as much as the figure. So I focus more on those things that that interest me. I'm more interested by in the human figure. I'm gonna go ahead and use that suggestion of making this darker over here to help the highlights. And I haven't even really drawn the highlights out. I've kind of gone over with the chamois and darkened things, or just kind of blurred things a little bit with some darks, and then I have the option to lighten things if I want to. Hello, found your channel through Sculpting Tutorials. I'm super appreciative. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah. Yeah, I mostly do sculpting. This drawing stuff, I'm trying it out for a little bit just because I wanted to get back into drawing, and it's one of my New Year's resolutions to draw more this year, and so I've already pretty much done that. But we'll see if it seems like there's not a lot of interest in the drawing side, then I'll probably just go back to focusing primarily on the sculpting, because that's more my niche. And it seems like YouTube really doesn't want you to branch out into anything different than what you typically do for the algorithm. Or I don't know if that's YouTube or if it's just the audience, you know. The audience that you have wants to see you doing what you do. I've already started picking up a tiny bit as I watch your work on this piece. As you work to align strokes, I don't see why it wouldn't pick up. Oh yeah, well, yeah, like I said, like sometimes the algorithm, or I don't know if it's the algorithm, or you could just say the audience. Sometimes the audience wants to see you just do one thing, but I'm the kind of person that likes to do a bunch of different things, and that's not always the best for when you're actually trying to grow something. Sometimes it's better to be focused on the exact thing that you want to do. But I do enjoy drawing, and I think it's a good skill for any artist, so that's why I'm trying to get back into it. Maybe the time you start your streams could play a part. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Yeah, I try to do these in the morning to kind of get them out of the way, because if you have a goal you're trying to reach, it sometimes helps to do it earlier. But that's probably not when most people are on social media. They're doing other things or watching YouTube videos. I feel with AI and digital arts going the way it is, maybe handcrafted art will become more appreciated. Well, hopefully. Yeah, that's the optimistic view, that as AI becomes more of a thing, then people will have more of appreciation for seeing the actual process, and that the value of handcrafted art by living artists will increase. And then the pessimistic view is that the opposite will happen. That artists will just be replaced by AI. But yeah, I think I'm more optimistic when it comes to what will happen. There was an argument made recently that to actually get good at a higher level as a professional, you have to do the crappier, low skill stuff first. It will be wild in the next 20 years. Yeah, I'd say that that's probably true. Like, if you want to be a professional sculptor, you should probably do some of the monotonous, boring stuff like mold making and become familiar with that, and that way once you have that in your arsenal, you can kind of build off of that skill. Or even just craftsmanship, so things like working construction or things like that, like just putting things together or making things working with different materials, I think is a big skill for artists, sculptors in particular. I can't tell. Can you see the outline in the cloudy bits? Did you light the sketch first before moving into the shading? So yeah, I did an outline first, but there are parts of the sculpture, like this area right here, where I wanted the lines to disappear. I just wanted it to fall into shadow because I like that style of drawing. I find it to be interesting, and so I'm just trying to copy some of the other drawings that I've seen do that, where you just allow some of the shaded areas to fall into the background. So some areas there are outlines that I can still see. You know, there's a couple marks around the arm that I can still see and observe, but for the most part I wanted to allow a lot of the shaded areas to just fall into the background because I like that. I like that that style. In the thumbnail, it looked like you were doing a relief, and then I was like, "Oh, he's drawing." Yeah, yeah. The thumbnails are, well, I try to keep them, you know, to show what I'm doing, whether it's drawing or sculpting. But with the drawings, because I have to make the thumbnail before I start the session, it's sometimes a little bit tricky to see what I'm doing. And here, I felt like I laid something in, but it wasn't quite proportionate to where the lines are supposed to be. So I'm moving things around a little bit. I feel like the phone itself should be a little bit larger. Hands are tricky. There's a lot going on in the hands, so I'm trying to see where I went off. Because I'm noticing where the fingers overlap. The arm, some of the lines of the arm was off, so now I want to address that before I get too much farther into the shading. This would make a nice underpainting. Yeah, maybe I could. Maybe I can do that. Let's see. Can you paint on paper? I think if you like use a, what's it called, gouache or something, on paper, and then like paint something that allows the oil paint to grab onto and keeps the paper from falling apart. So maybe I'll do that. I did want to, one of my goals this year is to do one great painting, so who knows if I'll get to that. I wish I knew what was, I wish I knew that was onyx. I'm not super artistic, but I've always had the urge to create. Runs to Google. Oh yeah, Onyx Loves, yeah. They've been on here quite a bit. Love seeing them on there and always add to the conversation, which is helpful. Love watching you, Mr. Andrew, says Onyx Loves. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun working. There's always something to learn, something to improve on, something to get better at. William, an underpainting is a step painters do to test the scale and shadows and lights of a painting before painting it. Yeah, underpaintings is the drawing underneath, and then usually they'll seal it with something if they do the underpainting. Sometimes they'll do the underpainting on a canvas or something, and then they seal it. Usually it's done in charcoal or something like that. And they seal it so it doesn't smudge into the painting while you're painting over it. And that way you can work out the values and placement of things and composition and all of that before you get into the painting part, which is good to do because just like with sculpting, it's quicker to draw onto your sculpture. Like if you're doing a portrait or something and you use a knife to draw in where you think things should be, because that's quicker than adding material and then having to remove it. And the same thing with oil painting, where if you have to move things around in the painting, it's even though you can paint over oil paintings, it's just much more difficult than just making sure you get those values and placements there from the beginning. And a way to ensure that you do that is an underpainting. A painter's cheat code, basically. Yeah. Well, there's no, I don't know, using tools. It's not. I don't think it's cheating, but there are, there's ways to cheat. AI is cheating. We'll just say that. If you're creating your work using AI and then claiming it as an original work, that's cheating. But using tools, doing underpaintings, using techniques, even drawing techniques where like the grid system where you grid everything out and then you know where things are. You could say that that's cheating, but it's just one tool, and I'm sure one that many artists throughout the centuries have used. Same thing with like projectors. There's artists that have used projectors for a long time to basically take light. Even before they had cameras, they were able to take light and then reverse it and flip it onto a canvas so you could lightly see it, and then you could put yourself in a dark room and then kind of trace that projection even before even before you had the ability to capture that using the chemicals and film and all that. There were painters that did that in the past, and so it's all just tools. They would figure out tools to make themselves more accurate. I always have to rely on techniques. I've never been able to just have art flow out of me. And most things I try have been derivative. Well, I think art is derivative. It comes from our inspirations, whatever those might be. And and I think, beginners assume that professional artists or skilled artists that they don't that it just comes from them, that they don't spend hours and hours developing the technique and finding cheat codes and things to make the process easier and more attainable. But I mean, there is a lot of time and effort that goes into just practicing technique, finding ways to like lenses through which to view the figure that make it easier to actually realize what you're seeing, because sometimes that can be difficult, and just a changed perspective can help you see things more accurately. My wife has the idea and I just make them. Yeah, well, that's she's your inspiration then. It's good to have some inspiration. Let's see, I'm feeling that this thumb I might have put in a little bit short, so I'm trying to see where it should end. One thing I don't like about AI, there is going to be a person out there in the world that will use AI and never feel the wonderful feelings of creating. Yeah. Well, and if you're using AI and not being honest about it, like I've used AI to like brainstorm topics for videos or to help write a rough outline for some of the lessons that I've done. But then, I go through and with my brain, I tweak it and I change things and phrase it the way I would say it instead of just a generic, word, advanced word processor that kind of regurgitates the information in a way that's what would you say? Yeah, robotic and something. Even though it's it sounds like something that somebody could say, there's still that element of that it's not a mind that's behind it. It's just kind of giving the average of what people have said on that topic and kind of putting it in a way that people have put it in the past or similar. And it's good at those pattern recognitions, but it's not supposed to be the finished product. I think that's supposed to come from, it's supposed to be a tool on the way to something. It needs a human touch. Yeah, I think so. For it to be, you know, I mean, it is, AI is a human touch. It's just taking what humans have said and what humans have done and then putting it through a computational process to produce something similar but not exactly the same. So it is, in a way, it is, it has a touch of humanity, which with its good and with its bad. It's created in the image of man, you could say. So we're created in the image of God, and then we created AI in our image. And so I think that's one of the things you have to be careful with AI, is because, sometimes we're not all that great. So we gotta basically train AI to take the best out of humanity, hopefully, to pull the best out instead of pulling the worst out, and using that to train it. So it is a tricky thing. And it'll be interesting to see how it progresses. AI is currently in a fever dream state, uncanny symmetry, and getting odd things wrong. Yeah. Well, it'll improve as people figure out how to train it better, how to encourage it to get the answers that they are looking for. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there for today. If you're interested in um, in an in drawing or painting or sculpting the human figure, then I encourage you to check out my ebooks, An Artist's X-Ray Vision. There's one on the male figure, one on the female figure. And if you're interested in sculpting, then I hope you'll look into my sculpting courses. Those are Everything I Wish I Knew When I Started is the Figure Sculpting Fundamentals course, and then there's a Portrait Sculpting course and a Hand Sculpting course. The Figure Sculpting course and the Portrait Sculpting course have a free ebook or a free PDF assignment checklist that you can download, and it has links to all the free lessons. So if you'd like to learn about that, then I hope you'll take advantage of those resources. I worked hard on putting those out, and so I hope a lot of people take advantage of that, especially of that free content and free lessons, free assignments, and yeah, that'll definitely help as you're trying to master the art of sculpture. But even if you just like drawing, then the ebooks are good for that. I hope you guys can stay creative and stay productive, and hopefully I'll see you again soon in another video. Thank you guys.